The Eagles, one of the best-selling music artists of all time, over 200 million records sold worldwide, half of that, 100 million here in the U.S. They achieved immense success in the 70s with 5 number one singles, 6 number one albums on the Billboard charts. Welcome to Trippin' Up. I'm Phil Yale, and with me, of course, it's Tripp Rogers. Tripp, welcome back to Trippin' Up.
Good to be here. Talk about the Eagles, baby.
We're talking about the Eagles in this pop music trivia challenge where my goal is to trip up Tripp, and we invite you to play along. From 1972 to 1980, the Eagles had 10 top 10 Billboard Hot 100 songs, and Tripp, I'm looking for you to name them. Do you accept the challenge?
Yes, sir.
Well, then let's start tripping.
All right, their first number one song was Best of My Love in 1975.
You're 1 for 1.
Their second number one song, if I'm not mistaken, is Life in the Fast Lane from the Hotel California album.
One, bear with me, checking my notes here. Wow. Now, Tripp, I had that peaking. It's on the list. It peaked at number 11, though.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was. Got to think there was another number one. They had another number one song off of Hotel California, and Hotel California. Obviously, I got to throw that in there.
You got to throw, yeah, you absolutely got to throw that one in there.
The Long Run, which also hit number one, I think in '79.
I'm pretty confident it is on the list. Let me double check. It is. It peaked at number 8 back in 1979.
All right, their first hit was co-written by a guy named Jackson Browne. Gee, I wonder whatever happened to him.
Gee, I don't think he had much of a career. Do you?
I don't think he had much of a career. No. Yeah, Take It Easy, Jackson Browne.
Take It Easy. It peaked at number 12 on the Hot 100. That was back in 1972.
Let's see. We got to go into Please Come Home for Christmas. I don't think made the top. It would be on this list, but it was released about that time too.
Wow, you're really good, Tripp. It actually peaked at number 18 back in 78.
Okay. All right. Okay. Desperado.
Not on this list.
Okay. Tequila Sunrise.
Good track. Not on this list.
Okay.
They had a number one hit back in 1975.
I said Best of My Love. Oh, Take It to the Limit.
Take It to the Limit peaked at number 4.
Oh, all right.
That's the first A-side that featured Randy Meisner on lead vocals.
Okay. Heartache Tonight.
Very good.
I will, and I will tell you. Okay, one of the things that back then when you're on the radio, you would play. I mean, I worked at a radio station, so I was playing a card, but you would have to wait until the end of that song. It was a cold ending song, and I mean, you had to wait till the last second on that. And when we were at college at URDL, we would use carts for the current stuff, but when you'd play records, you couldn't really tell when that last beat was, and you'd have to really work hard to do that.
So far, you've got Best of My Love, Hotel California, Heartache Tonight. That's 3. Take It to the Limit, 4. The Long Run, 5. So we're looking for 5 more. 1, 2.
Oh boy.
Yep, looking for 5 more. They had one that was written with J.D. Souther. This was number 1 back in 1977. They said the inspiration.
All right, well, it would be off of Hotel California. So it would be off of Hotel California. That was Hotel California was around then. So, and the hits off that were Hotel California, Life in the Fast Lane, and Lyin Eyes.
Lyin Eyes. Yeah, it's interesting. It is a number 2. That was the one that won the Grammy.
Okay.
Back in 1975, according to my notes. This J.D. Souther co-written song was apparently fascinated by an old gunslinger being replaced by a faster one. Drum roll.
This is one of those that's gonna frustrate me when I realize when you tell me and I didn't get it because I'm drawing a complete blank.
New Kid in Town.
I told you.
Ah.
Yeah, well, New Kid in Town, New Kid, but that's also on Hotel California.
Okay, we're going to continue down the list here. This song peaked at number 8. It was in 1980. It was after Randy Meisner left the band.
I can't tell you why.
Very good. I didn't think that was much of a clue, but you jumped all over it.
No. Well, okay, you got to remember that one of the things about the 1970s in the radio business and in the music business, there was splintering, and you had a number of radio stations that were quote adult contemporary radio stations. And the Eagles were a band that, while they did well on the top 40 and then on the Hot 100, and appealed to the kids, they also appeared to adults, because remember, if you were Eagle fan back in 1972 and you were in college, well, now you were in your, close to 30. Adult contemporary radio stations were who appealed to you, and it wasn't as hard. And I Can't Tell You Why was one of those songs that had multiple appeal. The Eagles were also, believe it or not, played on country radio in the 1970s, because country radio kind of broadened out. It wasn't just Nashville. It wasn't just all twanging guitars. The Eagles were one of those groups that received a lot of attention in the country music realm of music.
Got 8 out of the 10. There are 2 left. This one
72. 72 is the one. What year is the other one?
The other one is 75.
See, I'm trying to think of what albums it would be from. And also, the Eagles had that monster greatest hits album that was released in 1975. The Eagles' greatest hits from 71 to 75. And I mean, that was one.
I believe it's sitting right there.
Yes, it is. I that's right. It is one of the all-time best-selling albums of all time. And hey, you want to flip it around so I can look at
I'll give you a hint. This is being recorded the end of about the middle of September. At the end of October, there's something called Halloween with playlists. This song
Witchy Woman.
Witchy Woman. I knew you would get that one.
No, that's easy.
That was pretty easy. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, we've only got one left. This was their second #1 hit. It was back in 1975. You talked about how they were on country stations. This song had a little bit of a different sound, a little less country rock, borderline rhythm and blues almost.
You said 75.
75.
So that would have been when I was listening to Casey.
Yeah,
I should get that one. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. I really am.
Drum roll. One of These Nights. Here are the top 10 highest charting songs by the Eagles. Best of My Love, One of These Nights, New Kid in Town, Hotel California, Heartache Tonight, Lyin Eyes, Take It to the Limit, The Long Run, I Can't Tell You Why, Witchy Woman, just outside the top 10, Life in the Fast Lane, Take It Easy, Please Come Home for Christmas, Seven Bridges Road, peaked at number 21. That's probably my second favorite Eagles song.
That was when they got back together in the 90s, the Hell Freezes Over album.
And that's a great song. And the final one that I'll mention, and it is my favorite Eagles song, it is Peaceful, Easy Feeling.
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
I got a bonus question for you. There was an original member of the Eagles that was known for his work in bluegrass. He left the band in 1975 and was replaced by Joe Walsh.
Bernie Leadon.
Bada bing. I knew you would get
Well, okay, now, okay, there's a story behind that. Okay, there's a story behind that. On Q105.3, we do a show called Long Play Replay, and we feature an album each week, and we play the entire album. So we featured the Eagles album, and the last one that Bernie was on, well, you know who his girlfriend was at the time? Patty Davis, Ronald Reagan's daughter.
Oh.
And yes. And they put a song, he forced them to put a song on the album co-written by Patty Davis. And that was what led to him leaving the group. Story. You're right, Joe Walsh joined the band. And, it's hard to believe all these years later, the Eagles still, and you have to appreciate it because the Eagles pretty much, Glenn Frey passed away 10 years ago. It's been about 10 years. But the Eagles, still together, and they're still doing really, really well. Glenn Frey's son played with the group for a while. He has since left, but those Spears shows down in Las Vegas are just phenomenal. And the Eagles are, an American treasure at this point.
My understanding is that when the Eagles approached, I think the Eagles approached Joe Walsh about joining the group. There was a person that was instrumental in that Joe Walsh went to for advice who said, yeah, you got to do it. Do you know who that person was?
No.
Peter Tork from the Monkees.
Listen, you bring up something people don't realize. All right. Peter Tork, Mike Nesmith, Mickey Dolenz, not so much Davy Jones, because Davy Jones was never a California guy, but these guys were California, and they have a lot of, you'd be surprised, they have a lot of musical friends, and they had a lot of influence. And I think that speaks volumes, and people talk about the Monkees. They feel the Monkees should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know. But you can't deny, for a time there in the mid-'60s, they were one of the top bands in the world. Even though they didn't start out as a band, they were 4 actors on a TV show. They certainly have turned into something. And of course, we mentioned this about the Monkees. Bobby Hart passed away of Tommy Boy's Bobby Hart, who, of course, were the producers and writers of a lot of their big hits and a lot of their first 2 albums. Don Kirshner, of course, was the musical supervisor, quote unquote. Yeah. And Bobby Hart just passed away at the age of 86.
Yeah, he was part of Boyce and Hart, and they wrote Valerie, The Last Train to Clarksville, and they actually wrote the theme song to the TV show, The Monkees. Well, Tripp, you were able to beat the challenge. I'm curious how the listeners did. Let us know in the comments section. Please subscribe, like, comment, check the show description for links to follow Tripp, including WRHQ.com, 105.3 FM. That's in Savannah, Georgia, on WTRSradio.com. Tripp also appears on Phil's Tracks docu-discographies, including an episode on Paul McCartney and Wings. That was Band on the Run. And check out my other 60s and 70s pop music videos on the Phil Yale channel on YouTube. Tripp, thanks for joining us again for this edition of Trippin' Up.
All right, Phil, you make it a great one.
We will indeed.